Daniel Okafor was 32 years old, and he was done. Not the kind of done that comes with rest, the kind that comes with shame. For 3 years he had built a small tailoring brand in Lagos, with faith, a second-hand sewing machine, and a dream he believed God had placed in his heart. He had turned down a stable job. He had invested everything. He had told everyone this was his calling. But that rainy Tuesday night, sitting on the floor of his workshop, surrounded by unpaid bills, Daniel had run out of reasons to believe anymore. His business partner had stolen from him. His biggest client had walked away. His landlord wanted him out in 30 days. And when he called his fiancée that evening, the worry in her silence hurt more than any argument could have. So he made a decision. Pack up the sewing machine tonight. Sell it in the morning. Stop pretending. He was wrapping it in cloth when a soft knock came at his door. It was Mama Grace, his elderly. She stepped in, saw the half-packed machine. She told him about her late husband, who had nearly shut down his printing press in 1987 after years of losses. The night before he was going to sell everything, he opened his Bible to Isaiah 41:10. "Fear not, for I am with you. I will strengthen you. I will help you." He didn't sell. 3 years later, his press was the most successful in the region. Mama Grace stood up and said, "God doesn't waste what he ordains, but he will test whether you trust him more than your circumstances." Then she left. Daniel got on his knees that night, not to pray for a miracle, but for something harder, the courage to keep going without seeing the outcome. He unwrapped the sewing machine. The next 3 months were quiet and difficult. He moved to a smaller space, worked without announcing anything, and focused on one thing: being faithful with what he still had. Then, one ordinary Wednesday, a fashion designer in Abuja saw a video of his work shared by a random customer. One order became 10. 10 became a waiting list. Within a year, Daniel had a proper studio and 2 apprentices. On the day he signed the new lease, he called Mama Grace. She laughed and said, "God was never finished with you, my son. You just almost finished yourself." Daniel looked around the empty studio and said the only words that felt true: "Thank you." He never sold the sewing machine. It still sits in the corner of his studio today, not because it's his best one, but because it reminds him of the night he almost gave up on what God had already decided to complete.
If this story resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. And if you're new here, subscribe to Rise with Grace. Every week we tell stories of faith, resilience, and God's grace in the lives of ordinary people who refused to quit. See you in the next one.